I've been using this for a while now, so I figured I would share some thoughts. I use it for an above-ground pool, and I mainly wanted something that could handle the daily mess on the floor without me having to vacuum manually. If your biggest issue is sand, little bits of dirt, bugs, and leaves that settle down to the bottom, this is the kind of cleaner that makes sense. If you are looking for something that climbs walls and scrubs the waterline, this is not that. The first thing I noticed when I started using it was how compact it is. It is easy to pick up and move around without feeling like I am wrestling with pool equipment. The handle on top matters more than it sounds like it would, because you are going to be lifting this in and out of the pool a lot, and you are going to be opening it up to rinse the filter. In the hand, it feels like solid plastic. Not fancy, not delicate. It feels like something that can get knocked around a bit and still be fine. After regular use, mine does not have any weird rattles and nothing feels loose. Setup is simple in a way I appreciate. In the box, you have the robot, the floating power cable, and the power supply. I connected the cable to the power supply, plugged the power supply into a regular wall outlet, and that was basically it. I did not spend time troubleshooting anything, and I did not need to watch a tutorial just to get started. It is one of those products where you can tell it was built for people who do not want extra steps. In day-to-day use, my routine is straightforward. I unroll the cable so it is not coiled up. I lower the cleaner into the water, I let it sink, then I press the button and walk away. It runs a cleaning cycle that, in my experience, is about an hour and a half. For my pool, which is about 28 feet long, that is enough time for it to make a real difference. When I pull it out, the floor looks clean in that obvious way where you can tell the fine layer of dirt is gone, and the random leaves are not sitting in the corners anymore. The part that actually does the work is the spinning brush underneath. Some cheaper or simpler cleaners feel like they just drag themselves around and hope the filter catches things. This one scrubs as it goes. That is what helped with the stuff that normally sticks a little, like a thin layer of grime or fine sand that spreads out across the floor. I've had days where the pool looked okay from above, but once you get in you can feel grit under your feet. After a run with this, that gritty feeling is gone. Navigation is always the thing I am skeptical about with pool robots, because a lot of them look random in motion. With the E10, it still looks a little aimless at times, but the end result is what matters. I watch it for a few minutes sometimes, and it does not just bounce in the same spot over and over. It changes direction, it works its way around, and it gets to the edges. It is not perfect, but when the cycle ends, I am not seeing obvious mist strips across the floor. I also tested it the way I think most people do without admitting it. I let the pool get a little messy on purpose. I left some leaves in there, a couple of little pebbles that got tracked in, and a mix of small debris that usually ends up in the corners. It picked up the leaves and the pebbles without drama, and when I checked the basket after, everything was sitting right there. That is the moment where I start trusting a cleaner, because it is easy for a machine to move around, but it has to actually collect the stuff. The filter basket design is one of my favorite practical details. It loads from the top, so I am not flipping the robot upside down or messing with screws. I open it, lift the basket out, dump it, rinse it with a hose and put it back. That is the whole maintenance routine. I do not feel like I need to baby it, and I am not spending extra time trying to clean out tight little corners with my fingers. The filter it comes with does a good job for normal debris like leaves, bugs, and dirt. If your pool deals with very fine particles like dust or pollen that make the water look cloudy, this setup may not catch every last bit of that on its own. In my case, it handled what I care about most, which is what settles on the floor and makes the pool feel dirty even when the water looks clear. The biggest annoyance for me has been the cable, and that is not unique to this model. The cable is long enough for an above-ground pool, but it can twist over time. I noticed fewer tangles when I fully unroll it before each run and do not just toss the coil in. If you have kids playing near the pool or a bunch of floating toys, you do need to keep an eye on things, because the cable can get wrapped up if the pool is chaotic. There are also some limitations that are not really flaws, but you need to know them before you buy it. This is a floor cleaner. It is not meant to climb the walls. It is not meant to scrub the water line. If you want that kind of full coverage cleaning, you need a different model. For my needs, floor cleaning is where most of the mess ends up, so I am fine with that trade-off. Another thing is that it is manual start. There is no mobile app here. There is no wireless control. There is no scheduling from your phone. Personally, I do not miss any of that, because my real-life routine is just pressing a button when I notice the pool floor needs attention. If you are the type of person who wants automation where you never think about it, this is not designed around that. It is designed around simple use. In terms of reliability, mine has been consistent. I run it about twice a week, sometimes more when the wind is blowing stuff into the pool. It starts every time, it finishes the cycle, and it has not given me any weird errors or odd behavior. I also like that it is easy to pull out of the water and clean up quickly, because the easiest products to keep using are the ones that do not add extra chores. So my overall take is pretty simple. The Dolphin E10 is for someone like me who wants the pool floor clean without turning it into a project. I drop it in, I let it run, I rinse the basket, and I move on with my day. It has a couple of normal annoyances, mainly cable management, and it does not do walls or waterline cleaning. But if your goal is dependable floor cleaning with minimal hassle, it has been doing that job for me. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the Dolphin E10 Automatic Robotic Pool Vacuum Cleaner. Thank you for watching.